Um, yeah, we're gonna start here in about 1 minute. How you doing, Connor? You all right?
I'm doing well. Yeah, good Wednesday over here.
Very nice. Oh, you got everything ready and ready to go, huh?
Yeah, I'm good to go when their group's back. I caught the tail end of the last guest speaker, so if everyone's on break now, I'm good to give it a minute.
Nope, there it goes. All right. Well, without further ado, which is my favorite phrase to say, we have Connor Findlay here, who did a stint in the U.S. Army, now works for Amazon. How you doing, Connor? Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for having me. Been this is my second time talking to some 70 goal folks, so excited to be here and hopefully I can provide some insights to the group on on maybe my story and my experience today at Amazon.
Very cool, man. Well, let's start out with your experience in the Army, man. What did you do in the Army?
Yeah, great. So I was an air defense artillery officer. I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas, my entire career. I did a stint overseas for 12 months and came back to Fort Hood. Um, so I worked extensively with the Patriot missile system. It was a lot of fun. My last 2 years in the Army, I was on the staff side, so working up at our core level, doing operations management type work, and helping out with some installation level projects. Like I said, ton of fun, met some awesome people, and still keep in touch with a lot of my coworkers, my soldiers. Um, but always had a passion for um, like the private sector, business. I was always business oriented growing up. So ultimately did want to go back to school and pursue a career outside of the military.
So what did that look like for you when you decided that you were going to get out of the military and pursue something new?
I didn't have a timeline set up initially. I didn't have a ideal career set up either. I just knew I wasn't a 20-year person. It was a I've served, I've um gotten a ton of experience. I've learned a lot, and now I'm ready to go do something else. And so because I didn't know what I wanted to do, I went back to school, give myself a an opportunity to learn some more, formal education type principles. Um, and then meet other people. And the program that I chose was, not military specifics. It was a general MBA through Indiana University, and I met tons of industry professionals. And so that was a big value add to my transition, which was getting to connect with other people that have been in maybe sectors that I wanted to learn more about, or been in positions that I really like the functional area in. And so that was kind of my strategy. Happy to talk more about that. But then back to the decision, it also kind of lined up with my personal life too. About to get married, um, wasn't necessarily uh, ready to settle down in one spot. My now wife and I are like, we're open to a geographical relocation. And so it was just a good time to get out, um, and then start something new.
So what was your mindset when you wanted to start something new? Like you went with MBA, but now you're working. It looks like you had a small spot for a while somewhere else at a job, and then now you're working at Amazon. What did that look like?
That's right. So I can start with my post-military, or maybe 12 months prior to exiting the military, is when I started to think through. I've decided to get out. And I know vaguely that I want to be in business, but I want to go get some higher level education. And so I started applying to grad programs, Also seeking out, hey, if like an MBA program isn't for me, are there opportunities for me uh, right now or in a year from now? Do I want to do like a hiring our heroes or like a skill bridge program or some sort of internship when I'm on terminal leave? Like there are tons of different like exit strategies from the military that people can pursue. Um, and so I sought all those out. I connected with people who have gone through those programs and those opportunities before, learn the pros and cons, and just for me and where I was, and I had a lot of terminal leave. Any other air defenders on the call would know, and I think probably any time like post COVID, just the op tempo of the military as a whole has probably been pretty high. And so in my case, I had not had many opportunities to use leave. Um, and so I had 5 months of leave built up. And so when I took my terminal leave, I did have an opportunity um, to do like a non skill bridge internship or job for employment that I could get paid through. And so that was another reason that kind of led me towards the formal education bit. So the way the way I kind of lined up my transition was start taking classes online, start building up credits, and then line up my summer internship. So in an MBA program, you typically would do some sort of internship between your years one and years two. Just like an undergrad program, you might do a kind of a more serious internship between your junior and senior year. So for grad school between years one and year two, I ended up interning with Amazon. So I applied through their student programs avenue, and uh, I think based on some of my operations and just military background, was um, was was put into our security and loss prevention organization, and that's actually where I still am. Um, but I've met a ton of other military veterans within our organization, which I'll get to in a little bit. But the internship, I think it was 6 or 8 weeks of real world experience, getting to drive uh, your own personal project and deliver on um we do a lot of like write-ups, like one pager write-ups at Amazon, and deliver on a kind of a report of what you've been able to accomplish during your internship, and seeing that actually lead to um whatever the case may be, operational efficiency, drive revenue, cut costs, something real world having impact in just a short amount of time was really cool. So I liked the culture there, and did accept a return offer back to Amazon. Now you
It's
mentioned you saw that maybe on my LinkedIn or resume there's a short stint at a consulting firm. I will share that uh in a grad program, a ton of career opportunities coming out of a program like that revolve around consulting. Um, and there is a lot of discussion around kind of these highly sought after careers. Big tech is very popular right now. Obviously, the mega cap tech companies, the Amazons, the Googles, the Apples, the Nvidias, etc. Um, the consulting avenue, you've got like the McKinseys and the Bains and the Deloittes and Accentures and stuff like that. Um, and then investment banking, venture capital, private equity, et cetera, kind of the financial route. So those are three heavily um, talked about careers post grad school. And so I did want to kind of try consulting for a little bit. And by the way, that consulting is very vague. Um, and is actually a great place to start if you don't know exactly what you want to do. And I say that because you get exposure to projects across several different functional areas, project management, supply chain management, d delivering to or presenting to like board of directors or C-suite folks, effectively facilitating meetings, etc. You also get exposure across several different industries. I was doing um, marine, like boating resale, healthcare, technology implementation, like several different industries. And I was at my consulting firm for just under 8 months. And so just pack a lot of experience into a short amount of time. But then I did ultimately decide to go back to Amazon and accept that full-time offer.
That's awesome. I'm gonna ask the group a question because I think I don't know how to really say this, but basically, how many of you guys feel like Connor is way more put together than any of us that are transitioning out? Because it seems to me like you had already kind of known, you know what I mean, what you were on the path to do. What advice could you give someone that's in here um, that doesn't quite know what they want to do and help them kind of guide them in some way?
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that. And I'm glad I'm kind of portraying that. That was certainly not the case as I was exiting the military. I mean, I was probably going through it just the same as everyone else is here now going through it. Just the I don't know what I want to do. I don't know, like here's a big question. How much am I worth? Compensation is not the biggest determination of what you do next, but you know, you you got to pay the bills. So am I worth X salary, hourly wage, whatever it may be? How much do I need in my next role? Like all of these questions, I didn't have the answers to. I found success in mentorship. Um, I was very fortunate in my last role at Fort Hood to have just some great mentors or coworkers who were also transitioning. Um, so one that was helpful to kind of go through the exit process with colleagues. Two, networking was just incredible. Probably the the 18 months before exiting. Um, I did start to leverage LinkedIn and reach out to folks that had gotten out. Maybe I had a mutual connection with. Maybe they went to my undergraduate college, and then now work at Google or a local bank or something that I'm like, it just can't hurt to reach out and say, hey, we've got this connection. Can I grab 15 minutes with you and ask you about your transition out of the military, your post Army, post Navy, post Air Force, whatever it may be, life and career. And more often than not, I would say 9 out of 10 veterans that I would reach out to were more than happy uh, to give 20 or 30 minutes of their time because they probably had mentors and they probably had uh, folks that they reached out to. So it's kind of like a giving back mentality. And so I did find a lot of success um, leveraging LinkedIn, reaching out to folks who were in fields that I was either interested in or didn't know much about and wanted to learn more. And so I would say that definitely helped shape how I thought about my transition and what I ultimately wanted to do.
Put a one in the chat if you guys have heard that before. Reach out to the people that are doing the job that you are interested in. Throw it in there for me. Look at that. That is something that we hear all the time, Connor, and I appreciate you saying that because it's so important that you find that person that is 5, 10 years ahead of you in the same field that you're looking for. And this the next question I have before we get into what you're actually doing at Amazon and stuff like that, I kind of want you to let us know if there was anything that you wish you would have known while you were transitioning, while you were getting out, and while you were preparing for this transition that you now know, like you know now that you wish you would have known then? Is there something that you can think of?
That's a good question. The only one that's come into mind, and well, two, there's a lot of things that you need to do, uh, probably across all the branches, as you're exiting the military, all the appointments that you need to go to, and make sure you're taken care of in the military for any VA follow-ups that you may have. Like your health is very important. Um, like I don't know if installations still do tap, or maybe each branch has their own.
It was shut down during the shutdown, but I think they're starting it back up. But yeah.
Okay. There's a whole checklist of things that you need to do to leave an installation, and get your exit paper in hand. Um, but it's okay to take time, and hopefully you get alignment from your unit leadership to say, I want to focus on my transition because it's important. It's important to me. I'll still do like X duties at work. But I mean, transitioning is I would say you could argue it's a full-time job. And so just getting some buy-in from your unit that you would like to um designate X hours a week towards your transition. I think that's important, and it might not be feasible in many cases, but if there is an opportunity to get some buy-in and support from your peers and leadership, I think that's great. The other thing I was going to say is that I wish I had known or leaned into some more. It is just a strong veteran network. I just think that giving back mentality is so strong. I wish I had. I said I leveraged it and it was successful, and that was great. But I wish I had leveraged it more, reached out to more people. I don't think if you reach out to, you know, 30 or 40 veterans a week, like that might sound excessive, but I don't think many people would turn you down or
Those are
like
rookie numbers, Connor.
okay.
No.
I don't know. I don't know,
No,
but
you're
like I mean
good.
that's a lot of time out of your week anyways.
I was
But
just kidding.
uh but yeah, I mean, it's the veteran network is just so strong. And so I wish I had leaned into it more. But really just connections in general. You'll hear like it's about who you know. I think there might be some truth to it. Um, but a lot of jobs aren't going to be uh given to you, but just like blindly submitting resumes or just hitting the easy apply button on LinkedIn. It's maybe some connections, referrals, etc. that are going to land you that dream job. And so just reaching out, learning more about the industry, the company, etc. that you're interested in is quite helpful.
Well, speaking of connections, do you mind if I throw your LinkedIn contact information right in there, or the link to it for him? Do you mind if I throw
Uh,
that in the chat?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. With that being said, I did want you to kind of talk about what it's like working at a company like Amazon in your capacity, what your job looks like, and just kind of tell us about it and tell us what's good about it, maybe a couple not so good things, a couple good things or whatever, to just
Yeah.
kind of give people an idea of what they're looking at if they're going to apply there.
Absolutely. And I'll just caveat the LinkedIn thing. I'm not very good at it. I tend to This is not very good, and don't take my advice. Or this is a like do as I say, not as I do sort of thing. Um, you should always be networking, whether you're in in a role, a stable role, and you really enjoy it, or you are in the job search um kind of phase. I think you should always be networking. I'm very bad at networking when I don't need to. I suppose. So I'm in like full swing LinkedIn connecting, networking phase when I'm actively searching for maybe my next role. But I am quite happy with my current role, my current organization. So I tend not to be on LinkedIn too much at the moment. So But yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. What do I do? Happy to go through that and and how the company's been for me thus far. So I'll start with Amazon is a very well, one, it's a massive organization. There are tons of opportunities to move laterally and to really take your career where you want it to go within the organization. You know, we're a million plus employees globally. I think Walmart's up there as far as number of employees. Uh, but other than like the U.S. Postal Service as a government agency, uh, there's not many bigger companies as far as like number of employees go. So the Amazon network is quite strong and quite extensive. So what the other thing I was gonna say just or company wide is it's a very military friendly company. We've got affinity groups, which other companies probably call them different names, but our affinity groups are kind of like cultural or background or experience oriented groups where you can find common ground with other folks. So there is a military one. It's called Warriors at Amazon, and I've met tons of other vets across all branches. And we usually have local chapters. So I'm actually based in Nashville, Tennessee, and so we've got a couple of chapters here, and it's just incredible to have immediately on day one a group where you've got an instant connection. I've done X. I've served alongside of these people, so that is very cool. So what I do, what I do now, I'll talk about my organization first. I'm in our global security organization. And so we're essentially responsible for protecting the people and assets of Amazon across the globe. I specifically support the US and Canada. Um, and I work mostly with guarding services. So any contracts that we hold with our third-party guarding vendors, um, I help support those contracts and those efforts and our loss prevention counterparts in the field or at our facilities um, and how they engage with our third party guards. I also am involved in our technology solution space, so any remote cameras or security systems that we may have to implement across our U.S. and Canada sites. That'll be something that's part of my scope. But org wise, it's a huge lift and a huge responsibility for our team to make sure that sites are running properly, safely, securely, especially during the holiday. We're very busy November, December, and January with a lot of our product returns. Um, and as we increase our headcount, our associate headcount on our sites, just the inherent risk increases because we have extra people in the building. And so our team is actively working around the holidays in the summer when we do, you know, Prime Day, October we have a sale as well. Um, we tend to have more activity, and as more product moves in and out of the building, we want to make sure that our buildings, our product and Amazon assets, and most of all our people, our associates and our employees and our third party vendors are protected and secure. So that's kind of a little bit about my what I do and my team and my organization in a nutshell. And then I'll go into like functionally what does my day to day look like if that might be helpful. And so I think it was on the my interest slide. I'm a senior program manager. Project management, program management is is typically interchangeable, at least at Amazon. If anyone's explored the PMP or gone through the um, the some of the study sessions or pre-work for that certification. I've not done it, by the way. But if anyone's kind of explored that, like formally um, project is like a single like start finish um, initiative that you may own, and a program is kind of a maybe a number of projects that roll up under the same scope, kind of leading in the same direction. Here, I own several projects, all geared towards either making Amazon safer, cutting costs. How can we do things more efficiently? um, Increasing the satisfaction of our loss prevention counterparts at our facilities, and the like. It's a new space. Obviously, I've not come from a loss prevention or security background, but just I keep going back to like functionally what I do as a program manager. Um, I get to talk to people. Um, I get to plan and execute projects. I mean, there's so much planning involved, and I love that in the military, mitigating risk and seeing things through, and then just always being able to iterate, I think is an important part of our organization. Amazon's just so fast moving. We're always trying to innovate. It's okay to make mistakes, but I always say don't make the same mistake twice. Just iterate, learn from how things have gone the last time you did it, or an adjacent project that a coworker has worked on. We always do like I alluded to in the beginning, like reports or we don't call them AARs, but just learning, right? Learning from how things have gone previously. We might draft a project into a one-page Word document, um, and just file that away for the next time you come across something similar. And so I really like that learn, improve, innovate kind of aspect of what I get to do. I'll also share just my role is at Amazon we have like people leaders and we have individual contributors. I have been a people leader for maybe 7 or 8 months. After joining the team, I was in charge of all of our program managers supporting the US and Canada security services space. And then just with some org reshuffles, I'm now back in an IC role, which is actually quite fun. You could just designate your most of your time towards the projects and programs that you're owning. Um, but if you do enjoy leading people, there is opportunity to do that as well.
So you talked about efficiency and stuff like that. There's quite a few of our academy students that fall under like Lean Six Sigma. Is that something that works well in the Amazon space, or is that something that's just like, oh, whatever, it's just kind of a bonus to have?
Oh no, absolutely. It's something that is incredibly valued within our organization. For me, I'm not Lean Six Sigma certified, but just the way the way I think is very lean. I love reducing inefficiencies. In my space, in the security space, we're not revenue generating, we're cost savings. Um, we Amazon spends a lot of money on security. Um, the safety of our people and protecting our assets is just so important. There's not an opportunity for me in my work to say if we sell this product at this price, we're going to generate X more dollars for the company and our investors. That's just not my role. But I do have an opportunity to say we spend X on this security service. If we do Y, we can reduce the spend by this amount. Um, or change this little tiny piece in this process and here are the results. There's always opportunities for that. I think a lean way of thinking is incredibly valued. And if I can say that on my team, there's got to be an incredible amount of opportunity in in like a supply chain or logistics role at Amazon where they're doing that type of work every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. As far as and feel free if anyone has any questions for Connor, please raise your hand. Um, but I really don't have too much more for you myself, Connor. It's interesting to think that like you went into Amazon and it seems like it was a pretty easy way to do it. Is there any tips and stuff like that that you may be able to give someone that's looking to get a job at Amazon? Or is there, aside from like obviously having a good network and people like that, but is there anything else?
I applied on Amazon.jobs.com. Um, didn't have a referral or anything, but I mean, that was 20, I forget when that was, 2021. Maybe I was doing like student programs, application. The job market might be little bit different, or the landscape might be slightly changed now. I would say, yeah, the network is huge. If you've got connections within Amazon, um, but they might not be in the organization that you have incredible interest in, still reach out to them, they might be able to give you a uh, give you a connection on the team that they think you might be a perfect fit for. They might even be willing to give you a referral. But just looking through, if you're interested in Amazon, just looking through some of the job requisitions posted on Amazon Jobs, I think is a good start. Just see what are we hiring for, and do any of these positions kind of uh, one, pique my interest, to look like they could align with my skill sets, and if not, do I need to gain any additional skills between now and the time that I would want to start this role? Um, and then two, perhaps I've not done this, and I've not known anyone who has done this. So take it with a grain of salt, but I wonder if you see the hiring manager for listed for some of these job requisitions. This is just in general. This is an Amazon specific. I've heard people can just reach out to them on LinkedIn, or maybe their emails posted, and just say, "I'm very interested in this position. Um, I just need advice uh, on the application process, or if I might be a good fit, or if there's any kind of gaps in my resume that I could fill with like an additional skill I can learn between now and then." I think it won't hurt to reach out to the hiring managers or the recruiters as well.
That makes complete sense. Um, it's crazy, man. I mean, we're transitioning out of the military, and we get talked to by so many different people. Are there people in the Nashville area here in the chat that can connect with Connor and potentially have an opportunity to work with him or for Amazon? That's the kind of connections that we need, right, Connor? Like when we talk about mentorship and stuff like that, isn't that the main thing that we need is that help from someone that's already been through it?
Yeah, yeah, there's tons of like transition like programs or mentorship programs that allow you to connect with, well, one, you could connect with anyone you want to on LinkedIn, if they're willing on the other side. But two, if you need help, there are tons of mentorship programs or networking programs available to you as transitioning vets. I remember one that I tapped into, and this is just to get industry knowledge, or help me think through what I want to do. I think it was ACP that I tapped into, found a mentor through Amazon Corporate Partners, and met with my mentor monthly or every couple months, just to check in through the transition process. Um, but to Derek, to your point, if someone's in Nashville, and is interested in some of the things that I've said today, feel free to shoot me a message, and we can do a quick follow up. If you're in, Tampa, Florida, uh, go on LinkedIn and see, do I have any connections in Tampa, Florida, and see what they're up to now. You could very well find your next job that way.
Very nice. Does anyone have any questions for Connor? Anyone interested? Yeah, I think Connor, you kind of hit everything, man. You're very, very meticulous with the way you portray everything, man. It's awesome, and we really do appreciate you taking some time out of your day today and coming and speaking with us and sharing your story, man. I think that's so big for veterans to just be able to um, share their stories with each other and see how it goes. Like I said, it seems from this side of everything, you have everything together and you've kind of figured out a way to make it known that it is possible for us to succeed very easily moving to the other side of everything. So we appreciate your time, man. And we hope to see you soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day, man, and good holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks again for having me. It was a pleasure to speak to everybody, and best of luck in all upcoming transitions.
Hey, thank you so much, Connor. You have a wonderful day.
Absolutely. Take care.
Hey, what's up? What's up, all you beautiful people? Are you guys doing all right? How was today, huh? How did you guys do? Throw a one in the chat if you had a good day. Throw me a thumbs up. Throw me a heart. Throw me something. Oh, there's the ones. There's the ones. Anyone interested in these people that we had today, in these companies that we had come on today? Better since I saw you. Thanks, Chris. You're such a good guy. If you guys put something in the chat, I might read it. So you got to be careful what you put in the chat, okay? Amazon, Amazon, Amazon. All right, you already hit up Dave. All right, cool. Amazon, Amazon. Yes, make sure that you guys put that in your EODs. I think the EODs are ready to go. They Seven Eagle Group already put it in there for you guys to go fill those out. We really don't have anything else. I've got a few minutes. You know how I like to do. I like to see how everyone's doing. I'm gonna pick on some people. Hey, Benjamin, your shirt matches mine way too much today. I'm gonna need you to not do that tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna wear
Love my
gray.
shirt. Love my
I'm gonna
shirt.
wear gray tomorrow, okay? I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. How's everyone doing though? You guys like tell me, shoot me a short message about how your Thanksgiving was. Tell me what your favorite part about it was. Your favorite food item. Your favorite food item from your Thanksgiving.
The ziti I made.
You made a ziti?
Yeah,
Ham. You
and
got some
sauce too.
ham? John, I'm gonna read the chat, man. Put it in the chat, buddy. Like, everyone else
All
is
right.
they can't talk all at the same time. The man's on right now talking, you know? I'm trying to get Lauren to smile. She won't do it yet though. She's trying to hold it back. I see her over there. Whiskey. Okay. Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine. What kind of whiskey was it? I gotta know what kind it was, Fred, just so that I'm good. The Discord mod? No, 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 no. Discord supporter, yes. Um,
I think Nick
Derek,
is.
Derek, we're still live streaming, by the way.
no, we're not.
Oh, we're not?